So, I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I don't like the idea of children attending church. Now, everyone's church is different. I feel like church should be separated in divisions. You have the toddler division, children's division, teenage division, adult division, because your life experience determines how attentive you are in service. It's not that a child can't have, you know, a love of God or Jesus, but even me, I didn't really understand the concept of church at 11 and 10. I just know I was always forced to go, and that's really why a lot of kids go to church now. It's something either they're forced. It's like I don't have no one to watch you, so you either come with me or I don't know how everybody grew up, but y'all know what I'm talking about when I say you either come or I take my butt off and I whoop you, so and so. So that's why kids go. And usually it's always the grandmother or the mom. Like I always have a grandmother and her 5 kids sitting in front of me. 2 of them are on their phone, tablet. The other ones are asleep. She's the only one really paying attention. And you have adults that are on their phones too. Like I told you, church in a lot of cases is for show. I do it myself, and it's something you like to display. You like to show off in your early stages of your spiritual journey. Like, yeah, I was a horrible person most of my adult life. I was a horrible person most of my adult life, and going to church, yeah, it's something I do show off. Now, it's not something I'm proud of, but would you rather me show off something like going to church or showing off how much money I made selling drugs? So I don't think church is a like showing off how much you go to church. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But it's not something, yeah, it's not something you wanna brag about. But my problem is if you haven't learned enough about life, if you don't understand the whole purpose of faith, of following the doctrines of the Bible, the whole purpose. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna talk about food. The whole purpose of following the doctrines of the Bible and applying them to your life is so you don't feel like you're in darkness. And what darkness feels like, I'll just try to describe it to you the best way I can because I don't know what you feel and you don't know what I feel. But imagine having a headache, being blurry eyed, tired, fatigued. You feel like a pervert. You're not satisfied with what's in your life. You're craving for more and more. That's what darkness feels like. Wow. Abstinence and being pure, they don't feel the same. And I'm not trying to like use the whole white is pure and darkness is black. I'm describing it off of feelings like eating in moderation feels so much better than eating until I pass out. You know, celibacy is so much. Is so much. It's a better feeling than what's the word I'm working for? Promiscuity. I was going to say it's another word I was going to use, but yeah, promiscuity. It doesn't feel. It's not a good feeling. I mean, it may feel good for some people the first in that actual, in the midst of you doing it, but it doesn't feel good when you're done. See, abstinence, it never feels bad. You know, eating in moderation never feels bad. I can't say the same for fasting because I do think I'm a little sick, where I need to eat a lot. Sometimes I need to eat where I don't get tired or I lose energy. But eating in moderation, um, you know, abstaining from drugs and alcohol, that's a good feeling to have. So basically, I go to church, I read the Bible, I do what I can to change who I am so I can feel the spirit of God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. That's why I go. And it's not really something to debate about. That's why I say religion it's a waste debating about religion. It's not up for debate. It's either you follow the doctrines of the Bible or you do the opposite. And you see how your life turns out. But it's nothing to debate about. I don't care what the pastor is doing. I don't care about the fact that there are no real men in church, or that they've been singing um, hymns and Negro spirituals for the past hour, and we're still in here and it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't care about those things. They don't matter to me. It has nothing to do with the message. That's what you need to emphasize the most. I don't care if Jesus, it doesn't matter what he looked like. Yeah, I got a white Jesus as my avatar, but I don't. But I'm trying to say that I did that to emphasize that I don't care what he looked like. It doesn't matter what he looks like. His characteristics. That's what you need to learn how to be more like. Be like his character. Be like him. Stop looking at the race. Stop looking at if J was a letter in the alphabet when he was around. Who cares about those things? It doesn't matter. Now that's when you debate history. And I'm not interested in debating the history. It's the characteristics. That's what I care about. The the allegorical message of the Bible. That's what I read for. I don't read for the historical aspect of religion. And here's the thing about the Bible. So it is written by men, but it is divinely inspired. That means God told them what to say. And this is the thing. When you think about ideologies, like the Bible is it's a book. So Bible means books, right? That's what Bible means. It means many books. It's many books of ideologies. And some people are known for ideologies. Like Karl Marx created what I believe communism. He created the economic and political system of communism. I don't know if who invented black nationalism. I'll look on Google, but let's just say Marcus Garvey invented black nationalism. That's probably not true, but he's known for black nationalism. Malcolm X is known during his early, you know, during the peak of his career. Well, during like the middle part of his career, like while he was alive, he was known as a black nationalist. And I'm just trying to think of some more things like Hitler. He was known. Nazism was created in a way by Hitler, right? Who created? I'm about to check on my food in a second. Who do you think created doing the right thing? Do you think a person created that, or do you think? One second. Do you think a single individual came up with the idea of doing the right thing? Like, if you believe in cavemen, do you think they just came to their senses and was like, hey, you know what? We've been fornicating, we've been killing each other, we've been eating each other, for the past 100 years. How about we learn how to be nicer? How about we learn how to love each other? And maybe we'll learn how to talk, and we'll learn how to walk for more than a mile. I know it took Lucy, what they said, it took Lucy like a whole lifetime to walk like 2 miles, because the scientifically speaking, the Homo erectus, Homo habilis, all of our scientific ancestors, if you want to classify humanity and with science, they were not as advanced intellectually as us. Like their brains didn't function like ours function. But do you think they just thought of them? They just thought themselves that, yeah, um, if we're nice to each other, that that's how the universe, that's how the world works. If we're good, if we treat people respectfully, if we talk to people how we want to talk to them, if we, if we live accordingly to God, that's what would bring us out of darkness, and everything else we just disregard. Did you think they thought of that themselves, or do you believe that God spoke to their conscience and told them, hey, because God is basically also, He is also your conscience. I don't believe, I believe Google told me that you're not in control of your thoughts, that your thoughts, you have no control of what you think. So it's safe to say that God, in a way, is our conscience. Because your conscience tells you right from wrong. But the whole idea of right from wrong, who do you think invented that? Who do you think came up with the concept of, wickedness, goodness? Who do you think came up with that whole idea? Because like I said, everything else, good and evil, are umbrella terms for every other ideology. Like I said, racism, white supremacy, black nationalism, whatever you want to call it, it all falls under, good and bad. Some, like I said, there are some good things to what I just said, but in a lot of cases they fall under good and evil. But the whole idea of being a good person, who do you think came up with that idea? I believe God is behind everything that's good, everything good in our lives. Because like I said, we don't control what we think. Our conscience speaks to us. That feeling when you know something is wrong, that's your conscience talking to you. And God is your conscience. And He tells you when you're wrong. And it's a lot worse when you know something is wrong and you do it anyway. So, I kind of forgot what I was going with this video, but yeah, my purpose of a church, my whole objective of going to church is not falling in the darkness. You know, serving God. Churches is required. It's a requirement. It's not up for negotiation. You have to go to church on Saturdays, and I go to church to be around other Christians. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I can tolerate people that think like me. That's the whole thing of culture. I don't care what color you are. If you believe in what I believe in, we're cool. I don't have a problem with people of different races being Christian. But this is why, like I said, I wouldn't do any other religion, because I don't believe they are as inclusive as Christianity. Other religions require you to be the same race, speak their language. There are ethno religions that don't accept they're not as inclusive as Christianity is. Christianity is the most inclusive religion that I know of. And like I said, we get our morals, our right and wrong, from Christianity. And I don't want to go in the whole debate of, well, Hinduism is the oldest religion ever, but the whole idea of good and the whole idea of being good, doing the right thing, comes from God. And I kind of deviated from what I was trying to say.